Hi there, welcome back to this third video of 2021. I'm glad that you are spending some time this year learning the Summa, and I'm taking kind of a different approach than I did last year, and we'll see how it goes. Comment, let me know if this is making sense, if you're enjoying the way that I'm teaching these lessons, I guess you could say. This one is kind of interesting because after going over in video number 2 the basic concepts that you have to understand about the Summa before you start, I'm now asking the question, if you were St. Thomas Aquinas, how would you start the Summa? Okay, one important thing to understand is the breakdown of the Summa. It's big, it's 5 volumes, and it has 3,000 articles, 631 questions, 10,000 objections and answers. So you got to figure that as Thomas, probably, maybe 1260, 1265, that year that he began the Summa, he probably had it all kind of in his head to some degree, and he's a very ordered person, he's very structured, and so I'm always intrigued by why did he choose the first article as he did, because you figure a lot of people are going to read the first article and decide whether or not they're going to continue with the other 2,999 articles, right? So keep in mind that I said in the last video that you got to understand that the Summa is about man, and it's about God. It's our final end, which is heaven, but heaven is God. Okay, so our goal is to get back to God. That's why I told you about the boomerang example, right? So how would you start it? If our goal is God, God creates us, God draws us back to himself, and you're going to sit down and write this Summa, and you want people to be intrigued by it. You want people to learn about their salvation and their relationship with God. How are you going to start it? Well, I'll tell you the way Thomas started it. And in the very first article of the Summa, he said, whether besides philosophy any further doctrine is required. Now, many of you have not read any of the Summa yet, so that may sound kind of obtuse and, it doesn't really make any sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to dissect in this video one paragraph from his response in the corpus of this particular article, the body of it, when he kind of lays down his answer, and see if we can get into the mind of St. Thomas Aquinas and see why he started this with this question in article number 1 of the first part of the Summa. Okay, so here's the paragraph, and this is all the Summa we're going to get for this video. Okay, so it's not going to be a lot. Okay, he says, I answer that it was necessary for man's salvation that there should be a knowledge revealed by God besides philosophical science built up by human reason. Okay, so philosophical science is that which is built up by human reason, that which we can come to know through the light of our intellect. Okay, we can come to know algebra and geometry and trigonometry and calculus, history. We can memorize things. We're pretty bright. All right, so our minds are capable of doing some pretty good things. All right, but he's saying that there should be a knowledge revealed by God besides that, more than that. All right, that's not enough. Why? Firstly, indeed, because man is directed to God as to an end that surpasses the grasp of his reason. And then he quotes Isaiah, the eye hath not seen, O God, beside thee, what things thou hast prepared for them that wait for thee. All right, this should give us hope. Isaiah is saying there's something really great on the other side, all right? And it allows us to get through the pains, the sorrows, the frustrations. Even every now and then we're tempted to despair, right? But he's saying, no, God's got something really great prepared for you. What is it? The end must first be known by men who are to direct their thoughts and actions to the end. Hence it was necessary for the salvation of man that certain truths which exceed human reason should be made known to him by divine revelation. That's a really meaty paragraph. There's a lot there. Okay, and basically he's saying that our end is beyond us. Our end is not something like trigonometry or calculus or engineering, that if we work really hard and we study and we really apply ourselves, we'll be able to figure out. But notice the word that pops up 3 times. End, 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 end. The Summa is about our end. The Summa is about achieving the end that God has designed for us. And there's a cool little graphic here, and design qua regularity, whatever that means. I'm not even sure. Okay, objects follow natural laws. They have a goal and a purpose. Would you say that a bird has a purpose? Does it build a nest? Does it feed its young? Does it, chirp? Does a cricket have a purpose? Does a dog have a purpose? Yes, yes, yes. Does a rose have a purpose? Yes. All right, purpose, purpose, purpose. Reason object. The reason objects perform their job efficiently is that they were designed that way. Okay, the frog, the cricket, the bird, they were all designed in a particular way. Everything that is designed must have a designer. Conclusion, everything in the natural world that does not think for itself, such as an arrow, head towards its goal or purpose because it is directed by something that does think. All right, this being we call God, and God makes things reach their target. Okay, this is teleology. That's the fancy word for this. This is about the end, and that all things are moved towards their end, and the arrow is a good example of that, with God being the archer and all things being the arrow, and they're being shot to the target, right? So here's the last graphic, and I have lots of color here and lots of things, but I want to dissect this a little bit more because I really want you to understand why Thomas started off with this question. Okay, why do we need this sacred doctrine, this knowledge of something that surpasses human reason? He says, okay, and of course I'm repeating this, but it was necessary for man's salvation that there should be a knowledge. Okay, this is going to correspond to faith. This is going to correspond to that which we can know. Epistemology is the word. Revealed by God, besides philosophical science built up by human reason. Okay, man is directed to God. Remember the arrow? We are being directed to God as an archer shoots an arrow, as to an end that surpasses the grasp of his reason. Now that's the problem. That's the dilemma. God is pointing us to something that we cannot achieve, and so he has to help us. And he does this, as I mentioned in the last video, through his grace and through the sacraments and the gifts of the Holy Spirit and the things that the theological virtues, right? Okay, then we got that quote from Isaiah: "The end must first be known by men who are to direct their thoughts and actions to the end." So you begin to see that there's like a teamwork going on here. We do our part, God does his part. We need God, but we also have to respond to God. Okay, we're not robots. We're not arrows. We're not just being directed to a target, and like Calvin would believe that there's no free will. It's all predestination, right? Okay, hence it was necessary for the salvation of man that certain truths which exceed human reason should be made known to him. All right, epistemology, knowledge. We're going to talk a lot in these videos about knowledge, about our end, about nature. Okay, all the themes of the Summa are in this one paragraph. Our nature is such that we can do certain things, but we can't do other things because they exceed our nature. But oddly enough, one of those things that we can't do is what we must do. And we must achieve our final end, but we can't do it without God's help. So God's basically saying, you must turn to me and I will help you. I will shower you with grace. I'll provide you with everything you need to achieve your final end. But you ain't getting there on your own. Okay? So that pretty much does it for this one. Is that how you would have started the Summa if you were St. Thomas Aquinas? I hope I would have, because I know I can't do it any better than him. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. Video number 4 will be coming soon here on this channel. So thank you for watching. May God bless you.